Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. So here by the Hyzomat, you can see we have 6,923 liters left. So just about finished at our small biomass plant. It was nice and warm there, a little loud though, so figured I'd move. But as we are getting ready here at dawn of March to get going. So, going to get a few dollars more, I'm sure, but $390,000 is where we sit. So we are slowly making our way forward, but we're just going to jump into this year. So, nothing incredibly special planned for this year. It's going to be the same process as Farmers Only Club Misty Hills Agriculture has had for quite some time, so I'm going to likely keep things quite short because I don't have much that has changed, because we've been on here 3 days ago to finish out last year. The biggest possibility is going to be the greenhouses, but those are still running. They're still half full, so no urgency there. Definitely, this is a week for me. I think I had mentioned this, but this is a week that is going to be a challenge to get the work done. And just when things land are when they land. And so I talked about either planting March or April. I'm going to give it a go for March, and obviously if I start somehow hitting a problem, maybe I'll hold off on the other field until the next day, but that is not currently my plan, because I don't think things are going to get any better, frankly. So I had filled everything up previously, so we are immediately ready to throw the seeder in the dirt and get going. So here we go. Sticking with oats. Just determine that is really the best plan for what I've got here. I've seen some evidence of folks working on the server, not because I've seen them in the server, but just other ways. So I know we've still got some activity going on, not really sure exactly specifically what, but it has been a lot quieter here as people have gotten a little bit more focused on other activities that they like to do. But as I've said time and time again, these multiplayer communities that are real-time servers, it does become kind of just like farming would be in real life, where once you settle into your routine, that is what you'll be doing. So I think for all of us, it's very similar to that. Certainly for me, I know my task has to be get the crop in the ground and run the weeder over the ground. That may end up proving elusive as far as run the weeder over the ground. I'm relatively comfortable I'm going to be able to get the crop in the ground, and I'm still fighting back a little bit against using AI, say, for the weeding, because that is certainly a way that I could maybe have a little bit of a better shot at something, because I could set that going, but it just seems like throwing funds away. But once again, my longer term goal is, like, once I get to the point where maybe I can run cotton and run a full supply chain, that would be kind of my way of expanding, but that's the issue. It's my way of expanding. I do feel my farm size right now is good for me manually, or for me without AI running everything. So throwing AI onto that in that configuration just seems like I'm throwing in the towel. But I think sometimes I need to face reality of what it is and just avoid stressing myself out needlessly because I'm just trying to conform to some really baseless configuration that I've given myself of what I should do, or some expectations. And this week is certainly not the week that I want to create that unneeded stress. So time will tell really where I'm at, because what I could certainly do is just later tonight, I know I'll have the opportunity to set something going. It's just what I may not have is the ability to sit here, or the desire to sit here for an hour while the weeder does its thing on the fields. And the challenge is, yes, I'm going to have to move the weeder from one field to the other. But I'm going to try to leave that in the back of my mind as an acceptable alternative to get this done, because I think the time that I have now is going to get, if not fully consumed, very close to it, with just getting things into the ground here. So I am going to focus on that, and then I will figure out what I'm going to try to do with the weeding. I'm going to fight very hard to not have the situation where I can't get it done, and I don't get it done, and therefore I lose the output, the productivity, or the yield. I was searching for the word, that's the word, the yield of the fields, because I lose 15% or so because weeds grow in, because obviously they're here, we're plowing over them, this is how it normally works, but obviously taking some action to get rid of them is helpful. And as I've determined several years back, the way this works in Farmers Only Club is I need to weed the same day that I have planted, or it doesn't work, and then I have weeds. But with that, I'm going to continue getting this work going, and I will see you in a bit. So I am back here for what I now think is going to be a mess, honestly. I think it's far too late, but I feel if it will work. So let me go to my map. I feel if it will work, which is the fertilization, that I can't afford not to do it. The fertilizer's wide enough. You know, if I'm damaging crops, I'm not running that many rows of it. So I think I'll be okay. Oh, let's see, we'll want to get right about there. Because yes, I do have narrow tires, but what I don't know is, you know, is it going to... Well, it's not actually damaging the crops, so the question is it working? It is, alright. So, I suppose, crisis averted, amazingly. I just realized, I'm like, it's almost time for harvest, and thank goodness, like, that isn't the problem. I swear it looks like I'm going diagonally a little bit, but my line is right along the edge of the field. Yeah, no, that's the width. It just looks like it's throwing way further than that, but it may be, but it honestly doesn't matter, because that's what the game is going to assume that I've done. But in any event, yeah, I was worried, you know, that the track on the back, but a lot of times I think basically fertilizer spreaders won't crush crops either, so. But given that it was 50% fertilized because of the way this works, like, I'm like, if I don't put this down, I'm going to lose so much yield, it's going to be ridiculous. And that's why I was like, even if I've got to run, say, 7 passes across this field or whatever it is to get all the way, I'm like, it might be worth the little bit of crop destruction to get the other 80% of the crops to yield a lot more. That's what I'm coming in to do here, and then maybe tomorrow the crop will be ready. I'm not sure. That remains to be seen. But next step is obviously going to be harvest. So I'll see you in a bit. Back here on the farm, you can see it is very late July. It's going to be rolling over into August. I'm going to have to get the harvest done tomorrow, or crops again will wither. Crops were not ready yesterday when I took a look, and today was just not a day that I could really do anything on the farm. So, I did express some concern as I was heading into this year at the end of last year that given the real life constraints I was going to have, that I might have a significant problem. And that may prove out to be true. I'm still dropping straw with the hope that I'll be able to go ahead and at least pick some of it up at some point. But I think right now the straw is going to be the least of the concerns, because once again, we're going to have basically all the way till March to pick things up. And, I might have time in the next few days to do that. But it's just a real question of, am I going to have time tomorrow to effectively get the harvest done? Because tomorrow is, again, something that has some real life encroachments on it, and we'll see what we can do. I also really have not taken a look at the weather. I don't like the fact that clouds are coming in, so I'm hoping, I may do a little bit of a late night. I mean, it's already honestly late as it is, but I may do a little bit of a late night and try to at least spend another hour or so going at this, see how things go, and then try to pick it up in the morning and get things done. But we'll see where we get to. But just wanted to pop in, give you the update. But we are here and we are attempting to harvest. I'll see you in a bit. Alright, so we're back here. Unfortunately, with the way the world went, we're a little later than normal, so we're here at Hobo's, or that's where I'm going to take it because I'm running out of time, and it's January and things are continuing to get worse. So we're going to go ahead and we will take the oats there. You can see we're at 390. We've still got possible straw to pick up. So yeah, it's been a tough year. This week has been really difficult. I thought I would have had a chance. I looked, the last time I was able to look, it was November, and then December got away from me, and so I missed my normal sell point, and unless I want to hold it, I don't know. Half thinking, let me look. It's not like I'm dying for cash. It's not terrible, I guess, so at least we'll get some money in the bank here, but again, only 233,000 liters, as you saw, so not a lot. But Hobo's is right here, and because otherwise we're looking at Reverend Grain, which is a little bit less, and maybe I could get $10 more, 1,000, which for a whole truck is going to be $1,500, so it's not going to necessarily make sense to drive across the map, which I think is where the rest of that is. So this is where we're at, and this will wrap up the year. But I'm going to get these things delivered, and we'll see, 500,000 maybe. So we'll be at 500,000. So I'll see you in a bit. Not even 2 trucks, as we can see. So we've got 83,000. Again, should be pretty good. But basically, I had kind of estimated at 600 when I had my tracking spreadsheet. And so going down basically almost $20. It cost me, roughly $4,000 is what it was. But again, I might have been, $50, $60 more, 1,000 if I had delivered things yesterday. But there we go. 526,350. I am then going to go ahead and make a little bit more of a dent in the straw. I definitely have things laying around as far as bales that are done. But as you can see, the tractor's kind of right there. So I'm going to hop in, and we're going to go ahead and make that progress and collect up a few more bales and get it into the biogas and go from there. So that will wrap things up for the year, though. And we've got another one in the bag, and we're just continuing to see how things can go. And I will see you next time.